So I don't know if it's something about standing at this mic or if we're all just so immersed in nun culture. But people keep getting up here and telling us their Myers-Briggs letters or their Enneagram number. Some have. And it's not that I'm trying to, jump on that trend, but it might prove helpful as you hear my harvest to know that I am an INTJ, if you hadn't guessed, and a 5. And I have a PowerPoint because at breakfast I admitted I'm a technology geek. It comforts me as an introvert to have that. And as a 5, for those of you who know the 5 on the Enneagram, it's all about the data. So, knowing I was going to do this, I have pages and pages and pages of notes. And my plan last night was to go up to my room, to pray with them, to read them, to synthesize them, to find some patterns, give you your words back in this 5 way. That was my plan. But you know what they say about plans. Because in addition to other things here, as the techno geek, I've been taking a lot of pictures for the blog, for if we get media, all those kinds of things. And so I've not only been listening deeply with my heart and writing notes with my pen, I've been looking at pictures. And so as I was trying to sit down with all these notes, I couldn't get the pictures out of my head. I just couldn't. And so I was ready to engage that T of the INTJ, and instead I saw images. I saw feelings in the images. And the J just can't go away, so I saw some actions. And they kept crowding out my ability to go through everything I'd collected as a 5. So given that our time together, energy, freedom, call, happening keeps coming, I thought, okay, this is where I'm being called, so I'm going to try to do this a little different way. So the harvest that I'm going to give is these images and what they've popped into my head. There's words too, because I can't get away from words, but focusing on the images. And the first image is that of open space. Giving voice really itself, it may be a nexus, but it's an open space. It's a circle where all younger women religious are welcome. And it takes work and collaboration and more than a little trust to set up that space. But the center can hold it. It can hold it all. God provides. The Spirit calls us to use our 2 feet, and as Yolanda said, called us to use our feet to come here. The use of the translation equipment and our marvelous translators whispering in our ears helped us to truly be present to each other in this space in a way that is new for GV. It may be new for religious life, I'm not sure. One person said it was almost seamless. But really, charism happens, translation happens. In 2009, Tere Maya called up Kristen and said, we have some sisters coming, can I bring my equipment and translate for them? So then in 2011, Kristen called up Tere and said, would you translate for more people? And then in 2013, she brought equipment for all of us and helped to make that happen. And Jessie had a friend who could translate all of the prayers. Translation happens in this space. Now this is my circle, so I obviously didn't take this picture. Jessica took some pictures for me yesterday when I was hosting. But our circles are sacred open space. They're holy ground where God is present. Sacred spaces where our seeds are scattered and sown, and where we become ministers of presence to each other. And our meeting space, even if we were facing the front like you are right now, it's a big circle. We're listening attentively to our deep story. And then, of course, there's the technical open space, that creative space that we all experienced yesterday, and I'll talk about at the end. So that's the first image that came to me. The second is a moving one in many ways. It's dance. Friday night, we danced here with our deepest questions, and Zio collected them for us. Those questions that have been burning within us about mission and ministry. We also literally danced a lot. I heard rumors of breakdancing. In our music and our dance, our cultures danced, mingled, bumped hips, gave us life and tired us out. Maybe made the 40-year-olds realize they are in their 40s. And I'm pretty sure this is Yolanda dancing. I'm 40, so. And Yolanda also danced with us into our dreams, our desires, our experiences, hopes, into our deep story. We come, after all, to share our story, to break the bread, to know our rising. As women of the cross, we rise and we dance. We danced across borders, using words, some in our language of strength, some in our fifth language, sharing our story of dancing through, beyond, and around borders. And always with our eyes on the mission of Jesus, even if all of us can't always see it. We know our sisters are there to dance with us now and into the future. A future religious life that we know will be different than the one we started. We don't know what that is. We don't even know the dance steps maybe. But we have good dance teachers and creative people and companions on the journey. Even if sometimes we get tired and have to take a nap. So the third image is of all of these beautiful faces here. Whether I saw them through my camera, on the computer looking at pictures someone else took, or in the photo booth. So the pictures are of goofy people, and I'm really happy we're having Goofy moving forward into the future. To those facial expressions of tension and uncertainty, to me, this one of my friends looks like how I feel when I realize a bird has taken that seed that I so carefully planted, or that ground that looked great was rocky or thorny. Sometimes we're pondering, asking deep questions, challenging, nudging each other, sharing our wisdom. Sometimes it makes no sense, and we don't know where we're going or how we're going to get around that tree, but it's still fun because we have our companions. Sometimes we find ourselves in a really comfortable space with friendly people who might be on the same page. They might have the exact same posture or expression. Sometimes we look over our shoulder, not so sure about what's coming, maybe a little anxious. But then God surprises us, we let go, we sink into the moment, and you never know what you're going to find. It might be, I don't know what it was, but it was something. And our faces tell that story. So our faces are on mission with us. They're doing ministry, and they're helping to make charism happen. Okay. So in addition to the images, I have feelings that I saw. And yes, I saw these feelings because they were in pictures. So, these feelings were happening with us, to us, among us. This is the playfulness open space thing. Play, fun, laughter, I don't know about the rest of you, but my mouth really hurts from laughing. Community fun, whether it's that natural, great, organic kind or the forced fun. These amazing people who touch us, who touch our deep, playful heart in community, in ministry, in those heartbreaking moments, places of suffering, yet God is there because God is the joy that we all experience, and we respond with hope. Can anyone guess what this is a picture of? Anyone? It's that fourth photo in the photo booth that some of us, like myself, forgot about. So you went out at the third. Yet, if there is no place where God is not, then this is a picture of God, right? And love. We feel love. We love God. Because we love God, we say, yes, we're here. And we love each other. I know, it's a sweet one. We're Giving Voice sisters. We might be Dominicans or Franciscans or Incarnate Word. We might not be wearing a habit ever. We might have left it at home. Doesn't matter. We cross boundaries and we soak into each other's experience because we love each other. And that has been so evident to me these days, even though I hadn't met so many people on the list when I was doing the name tags. And many of you do not look like your names. Just saying. So this, of course, is those questions we started out with that Maria so carefully organized and Renee so beautifully witnessed to. And what I read in these questions is part of our deep story in the making, and that's really our love of God's people in need, wherever they are, in the inner city, in a hospital, in a suburban school, a soup kitchen, our own houses, walking outside a retreat center where we can't pray. Wherever they are, our love for God is transformed when it meets God's people in need, and that's been really evident here. And then in us, what we've said here is that it meets our gifts, our call, our deepest self. And I don't really have a name for that feeling, so I'm just making it up. It's creative energy. I just feel creative energy. Something new is happening. Can you not perceive it? Energy, creativity for mission, reinventing language, living now for the kingdom of God. And lastly, I want to go back to the open space because I am in awe of what happened during that open space. I missed a lot of it in that first session because of the airplanes. But incredible things happened. And so rather than give you a laundry list, I want to share with you 3 key actions that I heard that I know will be incarnated in different ways. The first is giving voice. So I first thought of the visibility open space, who we are as mission, as a call to ministry. When we talked about videos in my circle, I had a brainstorm for our soon-to-be YouTube channel, so think about videos. For those of you that are younger, this is a television, what they used to look like. I drew this with word art. So the name of our YouTube channel that I propose, GVTV. But it's not just visibility as giving voice. We really have been ministers of presence to each other here. We yearn to be that with our sisters in community, with the people that we minister with. And having been transformed here, we bring this experience of giving voice into that. And that is such a gift for the world, I think, of these days. The second is giving voice, and dreaming. So I think we don't quite know where that's going yet. But you had a lot of super creative ideas. we did. So don't lose them, because dreams only become reality when someone does it, when a group of people do it. Think of our founding stories that we heard. And that's especially true in this peer-led, ragtag, grassroots bunch of crazy women. That's how it happens. So, a dream board, a mission trip, intentional community. We are women, we can do it, yes we can. So the last kind of action that I heard was relating as giving voice. Taking our intercultural, multicultural experiences here forward and outward and inward in how we relate to ourselves, to each other, to others as giving voice. It might be hosting a Skype supper, Skype happy hour, starting a Spanish language thread on the Giving Voice page, calling up somebody you just met here out of the blue, see what's going on. There are so many ways to relate as Giving Voice going forward. So this is what I have gleaned from you all, and I gift it back to you as food for the journey, as fruit for thought, seeds to be planted, whatever metaphors we want. I have more, but I might skip them. The bridge is important, though, I think, to get the bridge in there, because we really are building and walking that bridge at the same time and figuring out where it's going across to. But we are seeking the glory of God, fully alive, for the kingdom of God, and we are one.